Oh, hello. Hey guys, so just as we did on air as well, just introduce yourselves, what you do in the band to the press here, just so they don't get the wrong names, because we might be nervous, but we're very excited to have you in South Africa. It's their very, very first time in South Africa, and I promised them on air the best time ever. Well, ish. It depends, I suppose, on you, so show them a good time. All right, start with Jason. Let's start with you and then just go down.
Okay, I'm Jason. Jason, singer. Hey, we're gonna. Hey, I think mine's doing the same. But I'm Bryce. I'm the bass player. I'm Ricky, the drummer.
Steve, I play guitar.
I have some lady friends stage left. How are you, girls?
What up?
I want to give a shout out to my girls. Right about there.
The drummer. Should we just cut the mics until they fix them? Just cut the mics until they fix them. So move nice and close, guys. Move nice and close, and then we can all hear. Ricky already has a reputation. He's been in the country 10 minutes. Fantastic.
Ricky's been officially asked to leave. Yeah, okay. We're good.
Still have 2 days left.
Yeah.
Drums will be on track tomorrow night. All right, who wants to ask the first question?
The first guys, Etienne from RSG. Welcome to South Africa. Great to have you guys here.
Thank you.
Touring with Collective Soul. It's not an opening act. Both these bands are extremely big worldwide. So I mean, how does the dynamic work on the tour between Collective Soul and Live?
We actually are opening up for Collective Soul.
Yeah.
We're going to be playing an hour set. We played 2 shows with them, but it's been like 10 years. So it's nice to be reunited with those guys. We saw them at the hotel. I grew up listening to their music, so it's an honor to open up for those guys.
But in terms of the mutual respect between the two bands,
One
doesn't hang the other band.
Yeah, we had a couple. There was a good hang at the bar last night.
At the bar together, so yeah, I think it was good.
You guys have known each other for a while. I think Ed said on air this morning that he's been following you and had great respect for your songwriting and your sound for a number of years.
Oh, that's awesome.
Did you meet in America, obviously?
Yeah.
Do
Do you guys remember what show?
Backstage?
We did a show in California. I think it was near Sacramento, and yeah, I think musically, they've influenced us for the beginning stages. They have a really broad, diverse catalog of amazing music. They're good dudes, and it's just a nice fit to come down here for us for the first time and be a part of it.
Awesome.
Guys, welcome. Dave Hammond from IFM. I've been listening to No Man Face. I had a 2.5-hour drive to get here this morning.
Oh, wow.
I've been listening to No Man Face in the car. It still sounds like a brilliant album. It was a big debut album for you guys. What was the mindset when you did Stanley Kleinfall, the album to follow up? Were you going to try and see if you could emulate that debut, or were you not even thinking along those lines at all?
I think it was the old stereotypical, you've got your whole life to write your first record, and then it does well, and then you've got like 3 months to write your second album. So we went into the studio just kind of playing catch up, because we toured on the first record for, I want to say 3.5 years. It took us all over the world, and then we got back and we were just like, okay, how are we going to top that? So we just went into the studio and just tried to get as inspired as possible, but we made the record in like 3 or 4 months. So, I think it reflects in the record when you listen to it. It's like, it didn't do that well, first of all, but like, I don't know, there's still some songs in there that are really kind of special to me, just because there was so much pressure, but there were these kind of moments where you forget about the success of the first record and you're just in that headspace of just wanting to write a good song.
Did you have sales figures in your mind at all?
I'd be lying if I say that we didn't, When we first started, there was none of that, It was just like kids in a garage playing music, and I envisioned myself like working at Starbucks. I didn't know you could play music and actually do it for a living. But after the first record, and ever since then, it's always kind of like that push and pull of trying to keep all of the business side just like white noise when you go into the mindset of creating and just try to not think about it at all. Yeah. That's when you come up with good stuff, I think.
Cool. Who's next?
Hi, I'm Jadine from Power FM. I just wanted to find out, obviously going back to what Dave said, No Name Face, it's been 18 years since that album came out, and I remember being in high school really young, and it was just such a fresh sounding band. But I've always wanted to ask you, who is Hanging By Moments about?
You know what, that song was written in like 10 to 12 minutes. The album was almost finished, and I feel like as a band you only get songs like that like once every like 10 to 15 years, where I went into the other room, I was doing a vocal on another song, and I heard this melody in my head, and I picked up a guitar, and it's one of those few moments where a song just kind of comes into the room and you don't even have time to think about it. I just scribbled a bunch of stuff down and the song completely came together in like 10 minutes. And I played it for the producer and he's like, wow, we have to record this right away. So we recorded it the next day. And it was the last song to be recorded on No Name Face and then ended up on the radio like a couple months after that. So really one of those things where you don't know where it comes from, you know, and it's like you're always chasing that kind of magic, but I just feel like you need to always be available for when that inspiration could be there because it's really rare when it happens like that.
Alex, freelance DJ.
The Alex J.
And
Is Hanging by a Moment of Millstone? I mean, it's like, you know, it's like a bit like you're defined by that song. It was so damn big.
Yeah.
Is it really that thing of how do we get out from underneath this?
Well, it's really funny. So after our second record it wasn't a commercial success. We got dropped by we didn't get dropped by our label, but DreamWorks went bankrupt, and so there was a 8-month dormancy period where like I couldn't get anybody on the phone. We didn't know what was going to happen. And actually in Canada, Much Music put us on the one-hit wonder countdown.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So then luckily we came back with this song called You and Me that kind of put us back on the map, and they had to take our song off the one-hit wonder countdown. But it was kind of hard to get away from because it was such a big song, but it was hard to get any other singles out there. But you know what? We're still here playing it, so
Oh,
yeah.
Not at Starbucks.
That's right. Yeah, or Subway.
I'm Kenzie at Random FM. You and Me, you spoke about that song.
Yeah.
I heard that an early version of that song actually started on cassette.
Yeah, that's how old we are.
And it was released about like 6 years later or so?
Yeah, that's true.
What's the journey between the very first version of that song and the song that became a massive hit?
Well, the first version of it was just vocal and acoustic guitar, and it was a song I wrote for my girlfriend, who I actually proposed to her with that song, which is really ironic that song became such a big wedding tune, you know. But then we recorded, I feel like we had a version of that on Stanley Kleinfall, but it was kind of an abstract, weird arrangement of the song. And then it just surfaced once we kind of got another shot with Interscope Records, and it really kind of gave the band a second life. But it's ironic that song was really personal to me. It was just a song that was really special for me and my wife, but then all of a sudden it ended up becoming other people's wedding song, which is kind of ironic. You know?
Next? Yes?
I'm Shanna Lee from Bluebird Entertainment. What's the best career advice any of you have ever gotten? You know, because people always, you know, get all of these crazy and weird and wonderful things that you should do, but what's the best that you guys have gotten?
I think individually we probably all have our own stories with, you know, things that we've heard over the years, but me personally, I've had a lot of mentors in the early stages of playing music that have just told me to love music for the right reasons, you know, to emulate the best version of yourself through it, or whatever it is. Just reach out to other people, and instead of having it be about your ego or about fame or about this or that, because that's kind of fleeting, and you know, you just kind of have to go through your own personal journey with music. And my dad has been a huge advocate for trying to get me to, you know, to support me, to say don't give up with it, don't try and be a lawyer or something else. If this is what you want to do, like really go for it. And that's my personal.
Oh, I got one. So we met Bo Diddley once at the BMI Awards, and he he gave me some good advice. He said, "Yeah, kid, you guys good. Stay off the drugs." And I was like, "Thank you, Bo Diddley."
How did that go for you?
It was pretty good.
Who's the craziest person you've ever met backstage, waiting for a show? I mean, you obviously toured and played festivals and lineups with some huge acts.
I mean, Gilbert Gottfried used to announce us. You've met Bono and The Edge and Mick Jagger. And
Ricky,
who do you got? I was going to go with Mick Jagger, but you got it.
The story with Mick Jagger is actually quite a cool one for those who weren't listening.
Oh, yeah. We opened for the Stones in 2002, 2003. It was 3 shows. I got really sick before the Nashville show. Oh, it was a disaster. I had laryngitis and I couldn't sing at all. And Mick Jagger was watching our sound check, and he came up to us and he's like, I cut your sound check. You guys sounded clean. And I was like, man, I knew I sounded horrible, and I just went back to my hotel room and I was like, this is like the worst nightmare. But then we had the last gig was in Vegas, and I got my voice back and kind of redeemed myself. But it was like one of those bittersweet things where it's like a dream come true and also a nightmare at the same time. And then Keith Richards, he poked his head in and he just was like, we're like, yeah, Keith Richards just did that.
Take that.